People have a lot of questions about God. They're good ones. Like, what is he like? Like, I grew up thinking God was angry, mad, like he was a cop in the sky that just kept trying to keep track of like my wrongs or my rights, or I at least thought he was perpetually disappointed with my poor behavior. But Jesus came, the scripture says, to tell us exactly, to answer those questions, to tell us exactly what God is like. The Message puts it like this, that Jesus put skin on and moved into the neighborhood. This is what God is like. He's like Jesus. And what is Jesus like? And Jesus literally says his mission statement was to seek and to save the lost. That Jesus was so committed to this, it was a little bit outrageous to folks who thought they were following God by keeping all the rules. It was outrageous because Jesus was constantly spending time hanging out with those people who didn't deserve it, hanging out with sinners, they would be called, or people who felt excluded by religious conversations, or those who actually were undeserving of grace and mercy. That's who Jesus would give grace and mercy to. So a lot of the crowd, a lot of the religious folks even would kind of surround Jesus and be like, what are you doing? Like, what's happening right now? One of my favorite passages from the gospel is when Jesus is explaining to this religious crowd what God is like. He starts by saying this: God is like a shepherd, and he has 99 sheep, but one actually went astray. And God is the one, the shepherd, who goes, he leaves the 99 to go after that one sheep. And everyone kind of, even in a shepherding culture, is like, what? That kind of doesn't make any natural sense. I mean, you have 99 sheep, you're doing pretty good. But God, the character of God, is always seeking and saving those who are lost. Then he goes on, he says that God is like a widow who loses a coin and she needs it so bad. And so she just like totally uproots everything in the house to try to find that one lost coin. God is like that. And in that parable, it's kind of this idea that the coin is so much value to the widow, that it might not be that much value to somebody else, but to the widow, that coin is like her future. That coin is what she needs. It's that longing that God has. The character of God is to long for, to desire, to value the lost. Not just out of religious duty, but out of desire, genuine need. Of course, the final story that he tells in that series of stories is about a lost son. The lost son it's called the prodigal story lots of times, but really its focus is not on the son, the focus is on the father, which is a fascinating idea. It's a father whose son basically gives him the finger and takes off. I mean, the son's rebellious, the son's deserving of judgment, the son's deserving of exclusion. But Jesus says the father, he can't take that. He actually goes out every day looking for his son. He's longing for his son, and when his son finally returns, they embrace each other and he welcomes him back home. That story was scandalous to the first leaders. Why? Because sometimes we have weird ideas about who God is and what God is like. We think God is for those who are in, and we forget that the very nature of God is a God who is for those who are out, who leaves the 99, who uproots the whole house for the one, who goes to look every day to see if that son who he loves, who was lost, is now found. I hope you can know God like that.